What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. And today is going to be a little bit more of an exciting one, a more happy, upbeat video. I know I tend to not have many of those when it comes to talking about NFL news and notes and reactions and stuff of that nature. But today's is different because it involves my team, and this time it's actually good news. It's not Cam Newton, it's not Mac Jones, it's not anything bad, it's not Stephon Gilmore getting traded. No, it does involve a trade, but it's a good one. It's one that I'm actually super excited about, and something that I wanted the Patriots to do at the draft, but they just didn't do it, and now it turns out that they get him anyway. So I'm super happy about it. And if you guys don't know or aren't aware of what I'm talking about, the Patriots and the Ravens have come to an agreement to trade former 5th round pick this past draft, 5th or 6th, I think, Shaun Wade out of The Ohio State University, my favorite college, obviously one of my favorite players in recent history, Shaun Wade. He is being traded to the Patriots for a 7th round pick in 2022 and a 7th round pick in 2022 and a 5th round pick in 2023. That's the two picks that get you Shaun Wade. Now, let's break this down. This trade, in the grand scheme of things, to most people that aren't Patriots fans, and even probably some people that are Patriots fans, probably don't see this as a huge deal. Now, I know that I'm a rare breed when it comes to being an Ohio State fan and a Patriot fan. Those two really don't tend to mix. But for me, it does. So this probably doesn't come as a huge piece of information, considering what the Patriots gave up to get Shaun Wade, and the fact that Shaun Wade was drafted so low, and the fact that he really isn't known that much in the grand scheme of the NFL and stuff. So let's get into this trade, how I feel about it, how I think it's going to impact the Patriots, and all that stuff. So a little backstory on Shaun Wade, if you guys aren't familiar with him, which I'm pretty sure you guys probably aren't. So Shaun Wade, in the first couple of seasons that he was a starter at Ohio State, was one of the best safeties in all of college football. Like, no joke, Shaun Wade was a top 5, top 3 pick. If he would have left after the 2019 season, after the 2019 season, Shaun Wade would have been a top 5 pick. There's no doubt about that at safety. But he decided to come back for the 2020 season. It was a little bit of a struggle to get him to come back. He was going back and forth, debating on whether he wanted to come back. Not just him, but there was a few other Buckeyes that were debating whether or not to come back. And he ended up deciding to, but he switched to corner, which was his first mistake. Because the way that the Buckeyes play, he was their number 1 corner. And he was covering every team's number 1, as a number 1 corner would. And Shaun Wade is he's definitely not a number 1 corner. But he is not a good coverage corner. He's not a good man-to-man corner. He was getting burnt on every single play. He was getting toasted by not even the best receiver on an opposing team. He was getting burnt by everybody because he's not a good man-to-man cover. So going to corner was his first big mistake. He had a bad year. He didn't live up to the hype coming back for his final season in 2020. He just wasn't himself because he wasn't playing his natural position, which is safety. And then the 2020 season's over. The Buckeyes lose the national championship game, and Shaun Wade looks bad in the championship game, getting toasted by Devontae Smith, getting toasted by everybody. Even John Mechie Jr. III, or whatever his name is, he even toasted Shaun Wade a few times. So he made a bad decision going to corner, but he knew that, or the reason, if you guys don't know, the reason why he switched to corner for that final season was to improve his draft stock, which is funny. It's ironic because his draft stock went down because of him switching to corner. But the main reason why he did it initially was to improve his draft stock, because corners tend to get drafted higher in the draft than safeties do. So him being a corner would theoretically improve his draft stock if he would have played at the same or even higher level than he did the year before. But as we all know, that didn't happen. He goes falls in the draft, loses millions of dollars, which sucks for him. But he falls in the draft, ends up getting drafted, and like I said, I think the 5th or the 6th round. I'm not 100% sure on what he was. Maybe the 4th round even. I don't even know. I know it wasn't a top 3 pick or a top 3 round pick, but he gets drafted by the Ravens, and I was excited. I was excited. I was like, yeah, Shaun Wade got drafted. I hope that he goes to safety. This is what I was saying the whole offseason leading up to the draft. I was like, Shaun Wade, if he does get drafted, it has to be as a safety because, or at least in the NFL, he has to play safety because he's not going to be able to play corner in the league. He's not a corner. That's just not who he is. He doesn't have the skills to be a good corner in the NFL. He couldn't even be a good corner in college. So he definitely doesn't have the skills to be a good corner in the NFL. But he got drafted as a corner. He went to practice in training camps in the Ravens training camp as a corner, and he got traded to the Patriots as a corner. So maybe Belichick will switch him with all his wisdom. Maybe he'll switch him to a safety, but I don't know. Probably not. But in practice, the Ravens were saying that he was kind of on and off. He was playing kind of well here and there. He showed flashes of decent play, but more for the most part wasn't really doing anything. He probably wasn't going to make the Ravens rosters, which is why they traded him. They had to get something for him, which they got a couple picks. They're not really high picks, but they got at least something for him. So there's the backstory on Shaun Wade. Now, as it relates to the Patriots, how does this make me feel? I think this is a W of a trade. It may not seem like that. It may seem like a minuscule trade or a small forgotten trade, but I think this is actually a very, very solid pickup for the Patriots because, as everybody knows, Stephon Gilmore is kind of in the unknown with whether he's going to stay long term or whether he's going to get traded. No, I'm not saying by any means that Shaun Wade will be the next Stephon Gilmore, but if they can somehow develop Shaun Wade into a solid number 2, number 3 corner on this team, along with J.C. Jackson and Gilmore, if Gilmore's still here, then that's a huge W because Shaun Wade has the talent. He has the abilities. He's got the raw talent. He just needs to be molded. He's got it all there. And the best move, in my opinion, would be to move him back to safety because that's where he shined in college. So why wouldn't he at least show signs of shining at the pro level? I don't know. You'd have to test it out. And plus, he hasn't shown, or he hasn't gotten any live games. He's played preseason for the Ravens, but he hasn't got any true live games in the regular season yet. So how he's going to play a corner in the regular season, I don't know. Will he even make the team? Probably, because the Patriots traded draft picks for him, so I'm assuming they're not going to just waste those draft picks and then cut him. So I would assume he would make the team, unless he's just god-awful, but I don't think that's true. So I would assume he's going to make the team. And will he be a number 3 corner? Probably not. Will he be a 4 or 5? Probably. He'll probably be lower down the depth chart, probably not get as much playing time, unless they move him to safety and put him alongside Devin McCourty. I mean, they could also do that, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Let him learn from Devin McCourty, who's one of the better safeties in the past decade. So, I mean, that could also be a pretty solid move. But whatever the Patriots decide to do, I'm assuming is going to be the right move. It just depends on how Shaun Wade develops. I think he's now in the right system. I don't think the Ravens system was the perfect system for him to go into. I think having Bill Belichick be a defensive-minded coach. I know John Harbaugh's a defensive-minded coach too, but having Belichick be this guru of the defense, especially in the secondary, he tends to do pretty well in the secondary. So having Shaun Wade there, having Bill Belichick coach him, I think is the best possible situation for him. And I like this move. And I'm not just saying that as a Buckeye fan or as a Patriots fan. I think this is the best possible move for Shaun Wade as a human being and as a talent. He's in the best spot to potentially grow. If he can't do it in New England, then he's probably not going to be able to do it anywhere. That's just my opinion. So let me know down below what you guys think. If you guys think this is a good trade, if you guys think this is a bad trade, if you guys don't care because you probably don't know who Shaun Wade is, or you probably don't know much about Shaun Wade. I hope that I informed you if you didn't know much about him. I hope that this video was kind of a gateway, introduction into who Shaun Wade is and how good he was in college, just go back and watch some Shaun Wade highlights from 2019 season. He was a demon. So just if you're ever curious, if you're ever bored on YouTube, just go look up some Shaun Wade 2019 Buckeye highlights. He was an absolute demon. So that's gonna do it for me though. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Make sure to smash that like button, notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.